again after an extended vacation, shall we say. First, starting with my internet being awful, and next, just because Christmas season, taking a break, people seeing family, some other Christmas one shots in the mix, but overall, a nice break. But of course, very nice to return to it all. So, let me very quickly try and set the scene with a little bit of music by the wonderful Travis Savoy. So, it has been some time since we last met. To sum up our recent adventures with the Kobolds, in their quest to end the eternal winter imposed upon Icewind Dale by the goddess of winter, the Frost Maiden, Oru, the party reluctantly partnered with wizard Velen Harpel, member of the Arcane Brotherhood, a cabal of magically inclined individuals with the interest of accumulating arcane lore and power in order to acquire a holy text of Oru, the Rime of the Frost Maiden, a sacred poem that Velen claims will open the way to the lost nethery city of Netherrealm, said by her sources to be deep within the Rega Glacier. Oh, I'm sorry, the city of Yithrin. My apologies. The party followed a lead for Velen's source of information, a professor orb by the name of Professor Scant, which was stolen by her associate, a diviner by the name of Nas Lantamir, who had chartered a ship to the supposed island sanctuary of the Frost Maiden within the sea of moving ice. The party, with an old friend of Meepo's and a reliable whale Angajuk as their ride, they made their way to this desolate place, and even granted the gift of sentience to their ex-speak companion Muerte along the way. After traversing the island and experiencing the strange atmosphere of this forsaken place, they had found the orb in the corpse of Miss Lantamir's clutches. Velen, eager to claim her family heirloom, went to grab it, but not before she was possessed by the very spirit of her associate. Oddly, this did not deter the party, as they accepted the personality of the ethereal mage much more than Velen, and, as it appeared they had the same goals, continued their journey unimpeded. Thus, the party entered the heart of the island, the ancient frost giant keep of Grimskal, which lay strangely, hauntingly empty, with naught but old guards and elemental methods, and a very friendly giant walrus by the name of Akuma, whom they befriended. Akuma, who trusted them enough to tell them that the treasure they sought lay behind a vault which only could be opened by those who could pass the 4 trials of the Frost Maiden. The trials of endurance, preservation, isolation, and cruelty. The aspects she most closely aligned herself with, and those who follow her. Passing the trials of isolation and preservation, while maintaining their morals by preventing an attack on a weaker clan, and preserving the life of a young Wolf Clan boy, the party was put to the test yet again in their current trial of cruelty. The Bear Clan, led by the mountain of a man named Gunvald Halriksson, had been unable to find food, and with their hunters lost in the current blizzard, the Bear Clan was forced to resort to cannibalism in order to survive. Both King Gunvald and their shaman, Ulkura, decided, or rather was attempting to decide, whether to kill and devour their most elderly and most burdensome of the tribe. Hawks, Hagnar, and Skanuk tried to deliberate with the elders that their time was nearing its end and they should at least consider their sacrifice to help the greater good, to which they responded with fear and an unwillingness to die. Meepo Molo, horrified by this, cast silence on herself to hide herself from the sight and sound, unwilling to be associated with an act of murder. Scales, however, had a different response. In a moment of bravery, despite himself, he challenged the king of the bear tribe that those who cannot fend for themselves do not deserve to survive. The Bear King, incensed by this insult, ordered the tribe to attack. Right about the same time that's gonna brutalize the elders with a thunder wave. And thus, a battle began to commence, and this is where we begin. So, we had already started a first round of combat. So, we are starting a turn order with Muerte Blanca.
Yes, it is I, Muerte Blanca, and I will tear you each limb from limb with this very beak.
Alright, and at the moment, both you and Scales in Yeti/Giant 8 form are currently both flanking King Hollerikson right there. But you do notice, you did hear from the last time that we ended the session, that the sounds of awakening tribes members were ringing alarm throughout the camp. But it is your turn. What will you do, Muerte? Hello?
I'm reading over the skills.
Oh, gotcha. Fair enough.
What's its level in the class? 8?
It should be 8. It's the same as the rest of you.
Then I'm going to second wind it.
Okay.
And then so D10 plus 8. $13.
All right.
And then I am going to do a double attack on it, and I have advantage because he has some of his hit points missing, correct?
Correct. Okay, 22 will definitely hit.
27.
27 will also hit.
17 total slashing.
Oof. A good amount of damage. As the king tries to defend from the giant ape in front of him, you, Muerte, strike from behind. He's quickly beset by you.
For once, I agree with the small one.
The king really pants. I'll take you all on. Alright, is that your turn, Muerte?
Yes.
Alright, Skanuk, it is now your turn. Currently, you see these members of the tribe are still asleep from the spell. The sleep spell that Scales cast. So they currently are not in combat just yet, although they are in initiative. But you also do hear the sounds of combat beginning to erupt within the rest of the camp as well. In fact, you start to hear noises from this tent right here and this tent right here.
Hey guys, I did the murder. Are we fighting? I don't know. I'm just sitting like covered in blood.
Oh no.
Well, now I feel like I didn't need to do that, perhaps. But fuck it, no witnesses to my shame. Cannon deployed.
No witnesses.
I think I'm actually going to deploy the flamethrower cannon if there's going to be people running around in there. I don't think... Oh, I can actually activate it on the same turn. I don't think I'll be doing that just yet. I will instead be... Yeah, I'm just throwing. I have no idea what to do here. I'm going to wander over the. We'll say this way to be a bit away from any other people. That's far too far. Down here, maybe? No, up here.
Fair enough, fair
I'm
enough.
throwing. All right, over the other side of this fire.
All right, you quickly scramble your way over to the fire.
Have him be there.
Okay. And that's your turn, yes?
Yeah. The cannon's in action. I don't think I've got any bonus actions.
Ah, yes, the usual question. Do I have a bonus action?
I really should do what Nikki does and just mark all of the ones that are bonus action somehow. Yeah. Oop.
It might be.
Oh,
Oh, what?
I didn't know I had the spell.
Now you do.
What do you got?
I'm going to cast Sanctuary on myself.
Hey. There it is.
Do I actually have... How in the...
Yeah, I actually, artificers do in fact get Sanctuary.
That is terrifying.
Right? Hey, it's something.
I feel like thematically it's probably more like a repulsion shield than anything else.
Yeah. That's what it most likely is.
But, like, I can just... Now I can cast this, and I'm... The way it's worded, I might be able to just have my cannon commit murder. That seems a bit broken. It might... It probably doesn't work like that. Never mind.
We'll see. We'll see. But
If
find
creature makes an attack.
you're basically the meepo for this for this fight.
Yeah, apparently.
So that is your turn.
I guess I could cast, like, Fairy Fire and shit.
Now it is the shaman's turn.
A spell that affects an enemy creature. That's Fairy Fire affects the enemy.
Let me see here. You know what? Because it worked so well last time. Let's see here. She is gonna maneuver around this way. Let me see here. Too bad I don't have the square on this laptop right here. Otherwise, I would use that. But she's probably gonna get one of her tribes member with this, so I'm gonna see if I can angle it. Yeah, I'll angle it this way. She is going to cast Thunderwave again on you, Hawks. So I need you to make a con save for me.
Okay. Constitution save. I'm good at those.
Okay. You take instead 5 points of thunder damage, and you are not knocked back. So she will kind of grit her teeth, and she will instead have to take the opportunity attack as she runs this way.
I might hold on to my reaction.
Okay, fair enough.
And then use it as she ends her turn.
Okay.
Activate the stone rune.
All right. It's a wisdom save, yes? Or is it a charisma?
Yep.
Wisdom.
It's wisdom. Which she's probably better at than...
Well, you'd be surprised. 6. She fails.
Nope. Yep, so she is stuck in a dreamy stupor.
All right. You will kind of watch as she kind of starts to run, and she it seems that she is intent on trying to reach the chieftain. My love, and then she it's kind of like just starts to lull, and she just looks as if she's in a daze.
I shall repeat the saving throw at the end of each of her turns. But, yeah.
All right. Scales.
See, that was the better choice.
It was the better choice. But Scales, it is now your turn. That is all she can do now.
I'm gonna wreck it. Gunvald is going to get hurt.
Okay. Okay. Yep, that'll hit, and that'll hurt.
Oof, that does not hit.
It doesn't, but the first fist connects solidly right in his gut. As he tries to block it with his axe, and he gets pushed a solid 3 feet backward just from the impact of your blow. But then, as you try and strike him for a second time, he instead dodges to the side and kind of gives you a thwack right on your palm. Not this time.
I will end my turn there.
All right.
24 points of damage isn't nothing.
Yeah, that's quite a significant amount, actually. It's quite good. So, Hawks Hagnard is now your turn.
Yeah, this is a weird situation. Because I really could just walk over here. She's incapacitated, so that would be...
Incapacitated?
I mean, it wouldn't be advantage or anything. That's just that her movement speed is 0, and...
Right, and she can't take any actions.
Yep. I'm just saying, she can't get away from it. She has to retake the save at the end of the turns.
Right,
So...
right.
This is not a charm that ends early if I attack her. And all of the other people are sleeping, so... there's that too.
Yeah, you do... I will say... Let's see, how close are you to some of the other tents? Yeah, just from your past perception, you do hear people starting to shout from this tent over here and this tent down here. It seems the immediate circle of tents is mostly empty. It seems to be the outer tents that are starting to rise up.
Okay.
Rise up, Stormcloak. Sorry.
The glory of Ulfric Stormcloak. Sorry.
I think I am going to make some attacks and action surge to make more attacks. I do not have advantage on these, but it will be 4 attacks. So, that is my action surge. Where is it in my list? Boom. And I will grab one of the fang javelins and start stabbing. 19
19 will definitely hit her.
and 8.
8 will unfortunately miss.
21
Yes.
and a 12.
A 12 will actually hit her. She is not very heavily armored. She seems to mostly be wearing ceremonial garbs and heavy furs, but no serious armor, so a 12 will still hit.
So that's 18 piercing and
3 con
5,
save.
6, 7, 8,
Alright.
and 13 cold.
Okay, so she will fail the save, so she is afflicted with the Bloodfang Javelin's chill. But that doesn't...
But it doesn't really do much in this case, because she's still... Yeah.
incapacitated. Yes. Let's see, double check the damage.
Yeah, 18 piercing, and I believe it was 13 cold.
Okay. She is still alive? Barely. But she is heavily bleeding out.
So, are we, actually planning to kill people here? I mean, I guess it's... Yeah, I don't know.
Yes, we are. That's the
Okay.
plan. That's the whole plan.
Okay, I guess.
Ah, yes. When you listen to the bird with its murderous rampage.
Makes good sense.
Ah, murder. So I assume that's your turn?
Yep.
Okay, so it would ordinarily be the regular members' tribes. However, these folk are asleep. So instead, on their initiative order, I'm going to roll a separate initiative for the new members of the tribe that are currently starting to arrive. The combat. 7, okay. So, let me begin to reveal who's joining the fray. Some of them. Some of them. Some more of those folk. And, last but not least, some of them.
A lot of boys.
It is a lot, as the complete outskirts of the village now springs into action. It might take a little bit of time before they can get to you, but they are aware of your presence and they are currently attempting to get there. Meepo, you would see Meepo, even though you're trying to shut your eyes.
Nope, I have blindfold on.
Oh, that's right. You have your blindfold on. Sorry, never mind.
I have Fox's blindfold on.
Right, I forgot that you did that. That you blindfolded yourself. Never mind. You hear and see nothing. I will. I guess the only thing you would feel is the tremor of something massive and then smaller tremors in the ground around you. But that's all you would notice. These folk. These boyos are going to attempt to attack you, Morte. Let's see here. And they have packed. Let's see. Let me double check and see. It's been a while since I looked at their thing. Ah, they do in fact have that. Okay.
At the beginning of turn order, can I start working on casting? Let me double check something on my spell sheet, see if I have it prepared first.
Sure, absolutely. But these two are going to attack Merte with advantage because they have pack tactics. 14 and a 21.
AC's 11.
Alrighty. That means Merte is going to take 11 points of piercing damage as they both jab her with their spears.
You said 11?
11, yes.
Okay.
Alright. That is their go. Next turn order, they will have their own separate initiative, but it is now King Ulrichson's turn.
By the way, I do not have the spell I was thinking, so it doesn't matter.
Darn. Don't you hate when that happens?
Yeah. It
All
wouldn't
right.
have helped anyway.
Okay. So, Ulrichson. Yeah, Merte is a big threat, but you are clearly the bigger threat here, Scale, so he is going to focus his attention on you. He is going to make 3 attacks against you, or at least attempt to. He's going to roar out, very much like the bear of his namesake. And he is going to strike at you. He's going to use his once-a-turn menacing blows if he can hit you. So, let's see if he does. 1d20 plus 8. 1. Soft 20 to hit. Which would be... So this will be 1d10 plus 5. And then 1d12 with menacing blows. You take a total of 19 points of slashing damage with menacing blows, and I need you to make a wisdom saving throw for the ape.
How many attacks were hit on me?
This is only the first attack. Because because like if because you need to roll concentration for a polymorph and to see like,
Yeah, I know.
Your
So
AC would
2
change.
points of damage.
yeah, that is yes, that'll be 19
DC
points of
10.
damage, and a Wisdom saving throw using the ape stats.
That would be a 22.
22. Okay, you are totally fine. So let's see here. So that was the con save and a wisdom save. Actually, yeah, wisdom save using the ape stats because you maintain concentration. $16? Okay. As Gunvald begins to roar at you, you just tower over him, unimpressed by his pathetic attempt to intimidate you. As well before, you already intimidated him. So, it has no effect. But he still has 2 more attacks to make against you. 1d20. That is a 16, and then the third attack is a 10.
Doesn't he have to make his concentration check before each one?
He does. I'll
So you have a different AC.
Don't worry about it. Just roll the damage for the first one. I'll make my saving throw, and then so on and so forth.
Sure. Just for I agree to make it less complicated. All right, you take 13 points of slashing damage.
Doesn't his AC change though?
I mean, yeah, but a 10's probably not going to hit anyway.
Does he take 13 points of slashing damage, or does the currently incapacitated caster in the group take 13 points of slashing damage?
Oh, that is brutal.
you, you.
Wow.
Oh, and they
So,
date as
yes.
well.
So, yeah, you don't have to make that saving throw.
Okay.
Well, he
and
does have to
the
make a
10
push.
doesn't hit. My AC is 12.
All right. As the axe begins to swing down a second time towards the ape, the cloud-like mists roll in as the rune flashes. And then suddenly, the shaman lies on the ground, her head chopped off, as the intent was to kill. And then you see the chieftain look in horror.
You should really watch where you're swinging that thing.
Probably peaked my mic a lot there, but he is absolutely furious. He did not like that one bit. So that's his turn. Werte.
While he's roaring. $28 and 14.
Okay, let's see. Let me double check the 14. Okay, because he did not use his shield when he was using the battle axe two-handed, that will in fact hit.
Uh, 14 total slashing damage.
Okay. You can see now that he is looking pretty hurt now. You're slowly whittling him down. Honestly, if he probably takes another hit like he did with the ape, he's not looking so good. right. Is that Muerte's turn?
That is.
All right. That means it's your turn now, Skanuk. There are now a bunch of lads and lasses who are swarming in. Looking weak and a little bit frail, probably from the eating for a bit, but they are trying to get into the fray, to defend their tribe.
This chieftain is almost dead, you said?
He is looking pretty darn hurt.
Okay. Okay.
Marking those who are not asleep with red. Is there a different turn order?
Do I want to, like... I'm thrown. I'm not sure what Scope would do here. I remain thrown. Okay, I think I've got an idea. Alright, everybody, here's the deal. If you're gonna... way I see it, if you're gonna declare that everyone... You know, if you're gonna declare that a certain people need to die for the good of the tribe, you ought to be willing to make that sacrifice yourself. So, yep, we're killing your leadership, and then we're leaving. And if you want... And, you know, if you want to try and stop us, we can also kill all of you. But, you know, we don't necessarily have to. And with that, he's going.
Make a persuasion or intimidation check, your choice.
Okay. Would this be taking the place of casting of an action?
I'll let it be a bonus action.
Okay. Fair enough. So persuasion. Okay, persuasion normal, and... Well,
It seems as soon as they rush in and see the fact that their shaman is dead, you don't think there's any chance at this point. Or at the very least, it's a very minimal chance.
okay. Well, I guess the big guy over there is going to be... Do I have a line on him?
There's... Morte is blocking the way a little bit, and plus there are these tents right here, are kind of in the way right now. I'd say if you moved, like... You obviously don't want to be too close to these tents right here.
Okay. Let me do a thing from where I was. I was down here. I could get... And like here might be a little bit better. It's not great.
At this point, if you're shooting through your ally, it doesn't really do any harm because they can move out of the way. So that is actually a clear enough shot for you.
Okay. In that case, we're gonna go ham and cast Scorching Ray.
Okay.
Zappy zappy. 27 to hit.
Yes.
Dealing 9 fire damage.
Alright, 9 fire.
Take off Arcane Firearm, and then... Zap. Zap?
Yes, both of those hit.
27, 26, 25, another 9 fire damage. All as it should be.
There is a habit you guys have of hitting exactly what you need to knock some of my villains down, or my enemies down. He had 9 hit points left.
Oof. Oof.
So, how would you like to end the chieftain of the bear tribe?
I think just like the 3 races spit out almost. It's like boom, 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 and like one of the the stomach, the chest, and the forehead. Just riddle him with fire.
All right, and as you do, he almost seems to not be affected at first. He just kind of shrugs them off a little bit. Almost in his rage, he kind of tries to turn his gaze towards you, Hawks, and they're like, "You will pay for this!" But before he can, all the fur covering his body From his clothes to his skin, there's just an overwhelming scent of burning flesh and hair as he just erupts in flame. And in his charge, he plummets into the snow, dead.
Weak.
And with that, I'm rolling a morale check. Okay. You notice some of the tribe members exchange glances. But a majority of them are filled with a similar rage at the fact that you just murdered their chieftain. Well, murdered from their definition, at least. So some are looking antsy, but a majority, despite their weak state at the moment, are wanting to continue. So, Skanak, is that your turn?
Yep, I think I've used up all my movement and actions and so on.
Alright. That is the end of the Killer of the King of Bears' turn. That is now Scale's turn. As this boy was
Can I pick up his corpse and throw him at throw him at whoever looks to be the next in charge?
Good question. Hang on. That would be... Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually, that would be the one directly below you, who appears to be a little bit bulkier than the others. It's this very bulky woman with this kind of like this long, flowing, scraggly hair with a bit of a lockjaw, and she is just stomping towards you.
I yeet his body at her.
All right. Let's see. I will say this counts as a rock per the giant ape stat block, even though it's not as powerful as a rock. But considering I described him as a mountain of a man, I will let that happen.
You're the best around. Holy crap!
That's a lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage.
Wow.
Sorry.
Do we need to roll on the permanent injuries table?
I don't think that's gonna matter at this point.
I know. There's no body left to have injuries.
Just the ankles are left on the ground.
His boots are still there.
Okay, I do have to clarify. Are you going for lethal or non-lethal? I don't think it matters, but I'm just asking. Lethal? Okay.
Lethal.
All right. So what happens is this next in line, almost gladiator-esque looking individual, just starts stomping in your direction as she raises her spear in combat. In a flash, in a split second, her top half is missing, and there is only a stump and then legs, which, like a chicken, walks forward a bit and then falls to the ground. That now at least half of the remaining forces now looks scared as shit.
Respectably.
Like, killing their chieftain, alright, whatever. Doing that, fuck this. Well, what a turn. You got any movement? Anything else?
Who looks to be the next in charge?
Shit, man. At this
Can you
point,
imagine?
yeah.
Can you imagine seeing that, and then the gorilla that just did that just snaps its head towards you?
At this point, all of them seem kind of equally. I'll tell you what. Roll an intelligence check using the ape stats, just for fun. I know the ape isn't very smart, but let's just see. Natural one. They're all equally as authoritative, which is to say, not very.
It's hard to tell who's in charge when everybody's in a panic and trying to scramble to get out.
Exactly.
I'll just start charging the asleep folk.
All right, so I would say that person is who was the next in line for the previous one. There it is. All right, you start charging the asleep ones. All right, Hawks Hagnar, you witnessed that. Now what do you do?
Well, not much more to do than keep fighting, honestly. I mean, they don't seem like they're ready to retreat.
Well,
They seem like they're shaken.
I will say, I said it wasn't likely before, but given what just occurred, if you would like, excuse me, you could make an intimidation check, or you could say something if you wish.
Let me see here. I actually have advantage on intimidation checks from the Frost Room, too. So, yeah, I will point to the former tribesman who is now just a pair of legs, having been crushed by the rock. And I will kind of throw my head back a little bit and be like, okay, so you need any more proof that you're in over your head on this?
Alright, roll intimidation with advantage.
Wow.
Ah! At the very least, they don't look like they're more ready to fight. But they're still on the fence. Anyone else could push the edge over.
Okay, in that case, I will run over here and make some attacks right here.
Alrighty.
Okay, suit yourselves. So that was 2 attacks with my javelin, no advantage. Stab. And stab.
Alright, 24 and 22 will definitely hit.
So 17 piercing and 8 cold together against this one right here.
Alright, that first attack will actually take it out, so if you want to target the second member of the tribe, you certainly can.
Yes, I think I will.
Alright, and I'm gonna guess lethal here?
But yeah, we're already in that situation.
Alright, lethal it is. Right, and they both go down with barely a fight. Unlike the chieftain and the other gladiator-like individual, even though they got taken out like a chump in one hit, these are clearly very weak individuals. They have clearly been starving for a little while. They don't put much of a fight, as it's basically like cutting through butter with a spear, essentially, and they fall very easily.
Okay, now. How about now?
At that point, nice. With disadvantage. Yep. Is that your turn?
Yep.
Alright. So, with that, the remaining tribes members will hold up their hands and drop their spears. And they seem a bit confused at the moment, as they don't really know how to address you. Until one individual kind of steps forward. That would be... I'll say the one who just witnessed what you just did. Actually, no, not that one, because they're asleep. Never mind. This individual coming from behind the tent. All right. Enough. They kind of pull back the hood. You see a very young man, probably in his late teens, actually. Like barely a scraggle of a beard. All right, you've done enough. We accept surrender. Just leave. Just leave us alone.
Cowards.
Call us what you will. We don't care. We just wanted food. We didn't feel good about what we had to do. We had to do it for the good of the tribe.
Oh, you got plenty of food now.
Yes.
I mean, look at the size of that guy.
The eyes kind of look down. Just go, please. You clearly didn't want to stick around, so just go away and don't look back.
It's easy enough. We have no idea where we are right now, so probably won't be seeing you again.
Good. I hope to never see any of your faces ever again. But I'll remember them. I'll remember them. kind of gives a sniff and kind of looks down to one of the corpses. You see a tear kind of, his eyes start to water up a bit.
I'm gonna point to the giant ape and be like, yeah, that's a real easy time for getting a face like that, huh?
You can see his knees begin to knock a little bit and he starts to tremble. Yes,
Like, what's the requirement for it? Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. He was just gonna start to mule a little bit, but go ahead.
So, like, what's the requirement for actually leaving here? Do we just, like, walk away? Do we...
Well, cruelty has happened, so I guess whenever the... I don't know.
It's, other than the other times, it seems you are still around, not leaving immediately. But you do see as the tribe members begin to slowly but surely giving you a wide berth, giving the ape a wide berth specifically. Walk around and collect their dead. You will see a couple people like look in the tent where the elders were and grab their bodies as well. And you can tell, even though he told you to leave, you know damn well that he is not going to do a damn thing to stop. He can't do a damn thing to get you to leave, if you know what I mean. So he doesn't push the issue, but it seems that he's at least trying to get some of the tribe's members at least a little bit organized. All right, look, just gather the bodies, and we'll chop off little bits one at a time, and then we'll try and save as much as we can for the children. He kind of just puts a hand on his face as they all begin to slowly, and unless you choose not to witness and walk away, you will watch as they begin to butcher their fellow tribesmen, the ones who are dead, and begin to slough the meat off from the bones, one by one.
I'm mostly just trying to get back so I can get worked on cleaning this. And Sluck gestures at his armor.
Yeah. So, of course, as you witness this act of cruelty, and the act of cruelty which, well, was partially attributed to you all as well. Eventually, after 10 minutes or so, after watching this display, you all are whisked away once again, back to the abode of the Frost Maiden.
Well, that was disgusting.
Meepo, your silence has since faded, and you feel the familiar touch of ice beneath your feet. You can tell that you are gone from whatever place you were and back in the abode of the Frost Maiden.
Yeah, can I have my bandana back?
Here's your blindfold.
Thank you, thank you. That went all sorts of ways, and none of them were ways I could have predicted. So one trial left, right?
What's the last one?
You see, as you're about to speak, the giant walrus head, foomp, gets stuck in the doorway. You're back! Hello?
Hello. Oh, there's.
Friends, you have returned. Are you okay? The druids that came back from this trial, well, I don't know if it bothered them very much, but they always had a dead look in their eye when afterwards.
Well, I am working under the assumption that anything we do here is going to be paid back for when we solve the greater problems that we're trying to solve, right?
Well, as long as you're okay.
Also, anywhere that's not in a cave is just a dream anyway, so it's not like it really matters. Fun fact about caves for you. Very important places.
I've never been in a cave. Well, I guess this could be considered a cave made by people?
I'm going to ponder whether or not this place technically counts as a cave.
As you ponder that, how is Meepo feeling at the moment?
She's only seeing like residual gore that's on these people and knows that there was some sort of conflict, but she doesn't know exactly what it was. So right now she's feeling conflicted because first of all she wasn't helping her friends, and second of all she let that happen even though she wasn't participating in it.
And just for measure, you look at your holy symbol and it is unchanged. How does Scales feel right now, having stood up to the king of the bear tribe?
Such an unfortunate waste of life. But that's the true survival of the fittest. Not whatever garbage they were spouting.
And how does Hawks feel about this?
Not in a cave. Wasn't real. Never even happened.
Yeah. How about Skinnock? How are you feeling right now?
I mean, very, very dirty, in a literal sense. But yeah, I'll be honest, out of character, I'm kind of thrown on how to go with Skinnock on this.
Fair enough. Well, honestly, I'm more considering how Skinnock acted in the just going cold turkey, just thunder waving those elderly people. I thought it was quite an interesting move, and because of the way your characters kind of acted, you all get to gain a point of inspiration.
Oh. Wow. Yeah.
Is that the advantage inspiration or a roll inspiration?
That is the advantage inspiration.
Okay. Muerte goes up to Scales. You are not as much of a coward as I thought you were. You are an animal at heart. You have gained my respect. some.
I was raised by Yetis, so a little of their tyrannical family gatherings rubbed off just a little bit.
Well, I should probably let you all go to the very last trial, but you'll probably be feeling very, very tired after it. You just kind of...
What's the last trial called?
The Trial of Endurance.
Oh, yeah.
So,
The trial of endurance. For the next 24 hours, you are going to listen to some random bard's tale of his most unspectacular life.
no. The Frostbane's not that cruel.
Trapped in a room with the 10 Towns Harmonic Kazoo Orchestra.
Oh, the horror.
What song are they playing?
Darude Sandstorm.
Kazoo version.
That would actually be kind of cool. That one might actually fit. Snowstorm, though, in this case.
Darude Snowstorm on the kazoo.
Remastered. Alright, so, with that in mind, do you wish to proceed to the next trial? Or do you wish to explore a little bit more of the of the fortress before then?
Well,
Or anything else. Something else.
there are a lot of resources that I could get back if we were able to take a short rest. And so I would offer that that is something that Hawks would be inclined to do.
Alright. And how does the rest of the party feel about a short rest?
Well, that might be enough time to do some washing. So yeah, all right.
I'm down for it.
I don't really
Alright.
need it right now, but I'll let you guys do what you need.
I will say, instead of attempting to spend hit dice for the little bit of damage I've taken, I will use my second wind at the start of the short rest and then try to get it back at the end. Because that makes a lot of sense to me.
Fair enough.
To get 5 plus 8, 13, which puts me back to full with room to spare.
Excellent. Alrighty. So, you guys spend your short rest trying to stay as warm as possible. Akuma, of course, is his jolly old self, and just the sight of him swinging around and sliding on the ice is a wonderful sight. It might almost take away the tension of what has transpired during the previous trial. Perhaps. But you finish up your rest, and whatever you guys decide to do next is up to you.
Well, we ought to get finished with this as quickly as we can.
Alright.
Sorry, I was just checking what that said. Also, I'm not Martin Blanca anymore.
Yes, assuming direct control. Oh. strange feeling just now.
I'll say.
Morty will kind of push past. Just kind of like... She kind of sniffs a little bit. Kind of looking into the air. Depending on how long the next trial might be. It might be close to dawn by the time we are done. We should be concerned if the Frost Maiden arrives.
Yeah.
The Frostmaid never really checked down here.
Ukuma kind of shudders. Sometimes, but she ignores me and I go up in the corner to hide. But not often, though. She mostly keeps to the upper part of the place.
Did she check it all while we were doing the endurance, or the not endurance, the one where we were away, the isolation, that one?
She didn't, no. I haven't seen her recently, actually. You guys have been kind of coming and going for a couple of days now, but I haven't seen her. Although, it has been getting... I like to consider myself a blubbery fellow, but, been getting kind of cold. A little colder than usual.
Okay, well,
So, it's different.
interesting. So what are you suggesting? We head back to the our ride and then come back another day?
I don't know about that. At this point, Muerte kind of speaks up. I do not know what to suggest. Because we don't know how long the trial of endurance will be, it is almost impossible to say. And plus, if it is a trial of endurance, we might be too tired to fight in case the Frost Maiden does come calling.
Well, we can't just not do it, so
This is true.
my thought would be then to just get it over with, head in there and take care of it. And if it's the wrong timing for us, we'll figure something out.
I am curious about the rest of the fort, but if that is what you wish to do, I am more than willing to follow. And with that, she kind of just ruffles her feathers and acquiesces. Just kind of gives you a solid nod.
Okay, let's go then.
All right. To the trial then.
Meow.
No.
No.
What? No. Alrighty. So, you all begin to press forward to the trial of endurance. And as you press upon those doors, much like before, a cold wind envelops all of you. And you all disappear, one at a time. And you are transported to somewhere else altogether. There we go. Alright. Map change.
This is a different sort of map.
It is a different sort of map. No, it's not the moon. It's not made of cheese. But no.
Moon cheese.
The moon doesn't exist inside of caves, therefore it's not real.
Also, I need to adjust the map because you are a very tiny square.
A cave has an opening at the top and you can see the sky from inside of the cave. Is the sky real?
No, because it's not in the cave with you.
But you're seeing it from
Well-
inside the cave.
Yes, but everything outside the cave is a dream.
You can
Oh, so
see into the
that's
dream from
every-
outside of the dream.
Right, okay. So it's passing from the dream into the dream and you can see what's happening on the outside that's not in the dream. So why even call them caves? Why not just call them dreams?
Cave is what's real.
Mm.
So,
Right. Sorry, had that backward.
as you have this conversation amongst yourselves, you quickly become enveloped in a flurry of snow and ice. Eventually, though, your vision clears, and you find yourself in a raging snowstorm. Standing at the edge of a ragged tribe's camp, in the process of being dismantled. The nomads are working feverishly to tear down their tents and pack them onto dog sleds. A few of them spot you and start to brandish their weapons. You notice, as they approach, they seem to bear the markings and kind of tribal adornments of the elk tribe, as you can see antlers and many other various hooves and furs of elks adorning their attire. But as they start to approach you, a tall figure standing amongst them calls out, "Wait! Stop!" And the rest of them back down. This tall figure approaches you. This very elderly man with gray hair, kind of like dwindling down to the shoulders, and a very long, scraggly beard. Very, as I said, aged, and yet quite fit and spry for a man of his age. And yet, as you look upon his face, you can see there is great weight behind them, as he has seen probably many a moon and seen many things in his time. As he approaches you, he calls out to you. "Fear not. I see that you have the Frost Maiden's mark upon you. And yet, you will not do us harm. This I feel in my heart."
Probably.
"I know this. Our shaman foretold it. Our shaman has foreseen your arrival."
I see. Good things, I hope?
Very good things. In the previous night, we felt something was amiss, as if there was some great unease in the air. Our shaman consulted the spirits, and she said that a group of kobolds had done something to prevent the tiger tribe from attacking us. I can only assume this was you.
We, might have convinced them to attack our Beatrice.
The White Worm. And how did you accomplish such a terrifying task?
Magic.
It
This
would make
guy. Points over at Scales.
It would make sense. The queen of the tiger tribe is no fool. But I am getting ahead of myself. Our tribe is on the move. You are welcome to join us if you wish, but the journey will be harsh. We are following the reindeer tribes that feed us and clothe us. We must follow them, even in this blizzard, or else we will lose them and we will starve.
Fair enough.
I I'm Jarund Elkhart, and he will extend a hand towards each of you. I am the king of the Elk tribe.
Oh, this is already going much better than last time. Nah. I guess we should. I guess I'll shake his hand at least.
Well, I definitely shook his hand.
His grip is quite firm, but you sense, well, at one point may have been a strong hand. There is a bit of a give to the grasp. It's clearly a man who once had a lot of strength, but has weakened over time. But I will not lie to you. This journey will be harsh. It will take many long, grueling hours of bitter cold. Can you survive such a task?
That's what we came for.
We will see. Come, walk with us. And he will begin to walk. He will kind of look at you. There is no time to rest. We must march onward. There is no time to stop, no time to sleep. There is only time to walk.
I see.
For in this blizzard, you will be unable to track their movements, as their tracks will quickly and assuredly be lost. We must keep the pace, or we will die. And he will at this point just keep walking, as if you feel as if he has spent enough time at one place, and the rest of the tribe begins to follow suit and follows behind him.
Okay, well let's go, I guess.
All right.
Be nice if we had the walrus with us.
Yeah.
So, you begin the long and grueling journey. During this time, you will notice that there is one individual amongst the tribe that seems to be staring intently at you. They are very much like the king. They're also wearing a headdress that seems to have antlers kind of built into the hood, and the face of the figure is masked by seemingly a skull made from an elk. And this figure,
I'm assuming
go ahead.
shaman.
The figure will slowly nod. And the figure says nothing, but gestures towards you to follow. Which you, of course, are already following, but it seems they wish to keep you in close proximity. All of you. Do you oblige them?
Okay.
Can I make an insight check?
Sure, go ahead. Natural one. They are quite mysterious. In the... okay. $25.
That was useful.
Something that you will notice about this individual is that clearly they are masking their face, so there's a bit of mystique to them, and yet you sense an otherworldly sense of understanding coming from this individual. Like they know more than a mortal should in a weird way, and they move. You definitely sense that they're human, like they're not some sort of monster, but it seems that there is just a worldly knowledge surrounding them. You feel like whatever they have to say will be very useful to know. You just have a gut feeling.
If you want to say anything, I'm listening.
It is wise to listen when one can. I have seen you, child of Eldath. I have seen you in my dreams. You, all of you, you have a great destiny before you. I cannot predict the future, but many different possibilities may come to pass, depending on what you decide to do. And it all hinges upon the Frost Maiden. This I know. But I assume you may have questions.
Is there some reason the Frost Maiden's upset? That we can know?
The figure kind of looks up into the sky as the wind howls around you. The Frost Maiden has never been one to enter the fray herself before. And yet, an aspect of her will struts around this world. It is something that should not be, and yet it is. This has concerned many in the Dale, but no more than the king, Jarund, and myself. I have looked into the spirits to see what they can tell me. And it is confusing, and yet I understand some things. I will tell you of a dream that I once had. In the dream, there was a frozen ocean, a spot of ice that could not be melted. Next to this frozen wasteland, an ocean that had yet to be frozen, beating against the ice. In the clouds above, lightning thrashing amongst the clouds. And on the land, a beast of blood and anger. A battle had come to pass between the frozen ocean and the beating one. The beating ocean and the waves did not like that the ice had come to freeze its waters. And so my dream came to pass that the ocean whispered to the clouds and the thunder, and the beast whispered, the beast plotted, and the beast sharpened its claws in wait. And then the lightning and the beast and the ocean all came at once to crash against the ice, and the ice was broken save for a single shard that was spared. And then that ice spirited itself away. And that was my dream. You can hear one of the pots of the dog sleds kind of clang against one of the sleds, kind of interrupting the story. But that was my dream. I have ruminated on its meaning, and I have come to perhaps a few theories. If you would like, Nepo, you may go ahead and roll a religion check, as well as anyone else who wants to. Religion, 17.
I would have advantage flip.
Alright, 17 and 18. Okay. given your knowledge of general religions and religious iconography, usually when it comes to elements of nature, there are a few gods that might represent some of the aspects. The lightning in the clouds might represent Talos, the Storm Lord.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
The ocean might represent Umberlee, sometimes known as the Bitch Queen, Mother of the Sea.
Yeah.
The beast, that one's a bit trickier, but you've heard that term before. Malar, the Beast Lord. You know this specifically because you remember the butcher who was attacking the young Wolf Clan boy.
Yeah.
He worshipped Malar, the Beast Lord.
So the Beast Lord was doing something to upset.
Well, given the story, the meaning...
Can we like give a shortened version of this story again?
Absolutely.
Like,
So, short version of the story, according to the dream, the frozen wasteland was freezing the ocean. The ocean didn't like that. The ocean
really
conspired.
didn't like what she was up to.
Yeah, the ocean conspired with the lightning and the beast
Okay.
and attacked the frigid wasteland. The lightning beat against the ice, the beast cornered it, and the ocean broke it apart with waves.
Okay. And so she's taking her anger out on people who are not necessarily worshipping.
Well, there's a bit more to it than that.
Talos or there is. But
Yes, with the 17 and 18, it seems from whatever occurred in this dream, the ice was damaged in some way. It is weakened. That was a significant part of the dream. That something happened to this frigid wasteland to reduce its power.
see. Then I have a plan. Save Christmas.
Wait a second. This isn't a Christmas one-shot.
This is a Christmas year-long shot.
Oh, no. But what do you make of it?
Well, from what I can tell, Harl's been in a spat with some of the other gods and didn't really have any allies to rely on and was kind of cornered and attacked. And then she escaped and now she's trying to build herself back up. And she's doing this in the best way she knows how. I think if we just convince her there's a better way to do it, then we can get this to stop.
With that, the shaman will kind of turn their head towards the sky again. You wish to move the unmovable ice. I would wish you luck, but I would fear such a thing impossible.
I think you can carve ice. I've seen it. I've seen Arl's carvings.
Can you move a glacier?
It's slowly.
Just had a thought. You know?
The shaman ponders
That was
this. Perhaps there is some wisdom, would you say? I, for one, would love to witness such an event.
I think just a little bit of water pushing underneath it. Move it a little faster.
At this point in time, as you're just kind of walking along, you're kind of like just talking amongst yourselves. At this point in time, the journey does seem to take a turn for the worse, as each step you can start to feel the pain and the fire in your joints as you're starting to tread along. At this point in time, it has been around 8 hours as you're kind of traipsing around. So, is there anything you wish to say to the shaman or any of the other tribes members? Any other questions you might have?
Not for
So-
dogs.
You do this every year?
Only when we need to.
No.
It is our way of life to follow the reindeer herds.
So I guess they must settle down occasionally, or this wouldn't work.
They do, but not for very long. Once they catch wind of us, they tend to travel again. But we keep pace behind them, and we hunt them, we skin them, feed off of them, and sustain ourselves. It is a harsh life, but it is a life nonetheless.
Huh.
It is simply our
Fair enough.
way. I will say, Hogs, if you'd like, you can roll a history check with advantage. 'Cause you might start to be remembering some things about the Elk tribe. 5. You're thinking like elk tribe. That rings a bell somewhere. Something familiar to you, but nah. You're having a hard time thinking. It's a little too cold, even with all your enhancements. In fact, your joint with the artificial limb is starting to ache a little bit. The stump is starting to act up. It's kind of distracting your thoughts.
Well, I've got some Dwargar liquor to pass around if anyone needs anything to keep themselves warm. You know, it's a little. I mean, it's not the tastiest stuff, but it's got some kick to it. At least it's not that mushroom brew.
The hardier members of the tribe that wish to keep pace will decline, but the shaman, interestingly enough, will extend out a hand.
There you go. I'll give you a whole bottle, and I'll take a bottle for myself for the road. Any of you guys want some?
I think I'm all right for now. I think we ought to save it for when it's getting really hard.
Yeah, probably. Or I can set something on fire. So, yeah.
Interestingly enough, as you're walking, you notice that the shaman actually begins to walk up towards the chieftain, and you'll see them exchange a few words with each other as the shaman offers the chieftain a drink. The chieftain will ponder for a minute and take a small swig, and they'll both kind of nod to each other. There's a moment of, not tension, but there's a moment of calm understanding between the two of them. And they both nod to each other, and they both go back to their respective positions in the march. Which at this point, I will need everyone to make a Constitution saving throw for me as an hour passes.
What is this against? Is it cold or tiredness?
This is against tiredness. Specifically, this is to avoid exhaustion.
Fair enough.
Oh, wow.
Ah,
Maria. So, Scales, it is a very hard journey for you. Your feet are tired, your back's aching, it's cold. It's not a good
Well.
time, man. You take 1 point of exhaustion.
Guys, this sucks. We have to keep walking.
Yes.
The shaman looks at you, Scales, and nods. Yes.
Fine.
Otherwise, we explore.
And upward, I suppose.
Well, that reminds me, Muerte also... Here, let me make a save for Muerte as well. Uh, 14, okay. You will watch as Muerte goes over to you, and she will carry you, Scales.
And I thank you. I may try to catch some quick little sleeps, maybe. And then I'll walk again. In a little bit.
A little bit, okay. So, so that is specifically... Sorry, specifically... let me see here. Disadvantage on ability checks... Right, so the first level of exhaustion is disadvantage on ability checks. So eventually, you might reach a point where your speed is had. So at that point, the tribe might walk a little bit slower for its slower members. But for now, it's fine. You guys continue your march. And another hour begins to pass as the wind blows even harder this time. And something that you begin to notice, to all of you... Let me see here. Ah, yes. Is that most of your magical items suddenly feel a little bit duller than usual.
What?
Yeah, you start to feel like, feel around for your magic stuff. Like, for instance, the ice room that you have,
The boots.
the boots, starting to feel pretty cold, pretty chilly. And you're having a little bit of a harder time walking on the snow.
Mm.
That is something that you notice as you're walking along. And as another hour passes, I need another round of Constitution saving throws. Okay, Muerte's good. Natural. Oh, buddy.
Scales. Wait, Scales
You know
is
what?
on Muerte.
This
Is that-
is, well...
I
I don't
suppose
know if
you
they'll-
can still get exhausted just writing.
I will say, Scales, you have an advantage on this. Because of the assistance from Muerte. 13. Okay.
18.
18. Alright, with Flash of Genius. And this is technically not a magical effect. This is simply Yuskana going, okay, it's you're telling Scales about the importances of proper posture and the efficiency of walking a certain way to maximize or minimize exhaustion.
I know scurrying is important, but it's highly inefficient over long distances.
You gotta pick your feet up.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta switch over to jogging. Jogging being apparently the most efficient locomotion, which is horrible.
Jogging is?
That's something I vaguely remember hearing. I might ask Nikia later.
It might be,
probably knows
because
that.
that's kind of how they did persistence hunting, I think. But, nevertheless.
Yeah,
Nevertheless,
it's either walking or jogging.
the primeval power walk.
Mm-hmm.
So, you continue your march, marching through this cold, desolate place. The winds whipping around you. You notice some of the other tribes members begin to... You can tell they've made this journey before, so it doesn't seem to be as tiring for them as it is for you. Although they are starting to show signs of exhaustion, if only slightly. However, another hour will pass, and I need another round of con saves. Okay. All right.
Or Meepo, I guess?
All right. Scales, you have advantage on this check as well because Muerte is helping you. All right. So Scales, so just Scales then takes another point of exhaustion. Unfortunately. The Flash of Genius, that's a +5, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
I'm at 12 on that one then.
Oh, actually, yes, Meepo, you would actually take a point of exhaustion as well.
Yeah.
It's okay, that's my first one.
All right. Each step that you all take is like daggers of ice into your body. Each step is pain. And yet, with each step that you take, you can feel your body getting stronger. You feel the burden. You feel what it must be for these people to walk through these frigid wastes, merely to survive. A not unfamiliar situation for you, Scales. And yet, despite this, despite everything, the trials ahead are difficult for you. Perhaps it was the fight that you did before that weakened you in some way. Perhaps the exhaustion of the spellcasting to turn into such a giant creature. But you continue to press forward, all of you. And I need another round of Constitution saving throws, as another hour will begin to pass. Muerte.
I'm going to Flash of Genius myself there. Sorry, guys. Okay, I think we're mostly good.
Okay.
I'm sure it's getting harder every time.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Right, 15, and then Flash of Genius yourself. And then, okay.
15 across the board except for the 16 from Hawks and the 10 from Muerte.
Okay. You will see Muerte at this point actually begins to show some sign of exhaustion as her movements become slightly slower, but not enough to cause a drop in speed. You see the wear and tear beginning to affect her. The shaman comes over to you all again, seeming to keep pace with you, but slowing down a little bit to match you. It is difficult, yes?
Yeah?
It is not an easy thing we do, and yet we must. It does make me wonder. Frost Maiden is able to walk around as we do, and as an aspect of her form, and yet the other gods do not. Such a thing has been creeping on my mind, and yet I have no answer. Even in my dreams, there is none. All I sense is there is a darkness in the glacier. That is all my dreams will tell me. That, and that you all have a large part to play in all of this. My only hope, and Jaren's, is that you will live to see that. You will live to see a Dale that is no longer a place of ice and despair. I miss the days of summer when the ice would begin to melt and make way for summer grasses. It was a beautiful time of year.
That's one of Eldath's most holy days.
Indeed,
Melt.
it is. I miss it so. Both Jaren, the chieftain, and I wish for better days. Days of long since past. And yet, we both have shared pain, Jarund and I. We have both lost our only children. his to a beast, and mine to the ice. Have you suffered pain and loss as well?
Yeah?
I could sense it. You all have an air about you that speaks of such things. This is the way that you walk, the way that you carry yourselves. But you are strong, all of you. And though you may be tired, and though this journey is harsh for you, I have seen the strength that you wield with you. And know this, for what you have done to help our tribe. Jarind is not so good with words, but I can speak in his stead. Should there come a time when you are surrounded by the enemy, we will do our best to try and help you, should the time come. You have the aid of the Elk tribe, should you require it. Or, the figure kind of stands up a bit straighter. Or perhaps he will help you anyway, even if you don't need it. Such is the flighty nature of the elk. Any with that? Unless did you wish to say something, Skanuk?
Nope. I'm going to type something in memes.
Very well. In that case, another hour will pass. This time, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. 8, 9, 10, 11. This is now the 12th hour into the journey. I need another round of Constitution saving throws.
I think... Yeah, Flash of Genius wants to come up again.
15 on skills, 15 on Sknuk, 11 on Meepo, and 21 on Hawks.
Okay, you can say it.
That's a lot.
Okay.
15, 15, 11, and 21.
15, 15. Okay, so that does not include Muerte, correct?
No, that does not include Muerte.
Okay, so Muerte will take another point of exhaustion. The rest of you are fine. Oh, no, except Meepo, because you had the 11.
Right.
That's another point of exhaustion, Meepo.
That's 2 for me. What's everyone at?
I don't think I've gotten any yet.
I'm at 2. What was the DC?
The DC for this was 15, actually.
Okay, so I'm at 2 still.
So I have disadvantage on ability checks, and my speed is halved. Same with scales. And Muerte.
I don't know. Fox is a tough boy.
Yes, he is, and we're glad for it.
A very tough boy. The
It's all a
journey,
dream anyway.
the journey is getting harder. And yet the shaman says to you, the end is in sight. Not much farther now. We must press onward. And so you do. With the end in sight, you gain a little bit of hope, perhaps. This next Constitution saving throw will have advantage for all of you. And although Scales already has advantage, but... Excellent.
Let's see, with
16, 22...
stand.
For Muerte. Muerte, my girl.
3.
3 points of exhaustion from Muerte. They will check. Muerte. At this point, the wear and tear and the extent of the journey is taking a large toll on Muerte. She is heaving. She is breathing very heavily. But she is still standing.
Gales, you think you can climb the load, maybe? I don't know.
Do what?
He's doing a little worse than you. Oh, Gales.
I don't know why I rolled that.
Okay.
But we'll just pretend we didn't see it.
Did you?
But what did you want me to do?
You're riding Muerte. You want to get off and let Muerte have a little bit of
Oh,
rest?
yeah.
I am strong. I can take it.
Yeah, but taking it too much can kind of kill you, you know?
No.
Even mountains can be torn down after a long time.
How about some booze?
The
Warm me up a
shaman
little bit.
will kind of wave his hand. Not yet. We're on the very last leg of our journey. And then we will celebrate.
I'm just saying, something to keep our talking bird warm.
Do what you wish. Morty will accept the booze, though. Except it's like feeding like a giant baby bird, because the other birds kind of do that kind of thing, you know? They're kind of like jutting out their neck and just kind of like swallowing it whole in a weird way. But she will accept it. And thus we enter the final stretch. The final Constitution saving throw.
Uh, 23. Oh,
So
shouldn't I have advantage? There it is.
or is
Do we?
Advantage again.
Oh, advantage again.
Sorry, I didn't mention that. My bad.
Imagine trying to do this as like a wizard.
Oh,
Well, a Constitution wizard could do it. You could do it.
we could do it?
16 for mine.
all right. Are you Flash of Geniusing anyone, Skanuk?
Let's see. What's the lowest score we got here? A
Either
14?
Muerte or scales.
I'm gonna do scales because I think Muerte. If that 6 is her, then it's probably too low for me to save. So 14
He's at
is
19.
getting it.
All right. However, it is at this point, with all your struggling, almost as if your knees are about to collapse, for most of you. There are a select few amongst you, like Skinnuck and Hux, who, despite everything, are doing a pretty good job of keeping up pace, and even though you are still a little bit tired, you're still keeping up pace. You've exerted yourself in all the right ways to minimize the exhaustion. And the rest of you, as you look up in the distance, as the clouds begin to part and the snow begins to slow and stop, you see in the distance the aurora and a herd of elk that are grazing, pawing at the snow to reveal the grass underneath. The tribe will all look at each other, and after a long, grueling series of hours, begin to collapse and rest. Both the chieftain and the shaman walk to all of you. You have all done well. And remember my words. Should the time come, and if we are able, we will come to your aid. The Oak Tribe does not forget. And Jaren will kind of nod. Yes. The tribe descended from Wolfgar, companion of Drist, will surely remember this. And before you can respond, Hawks, you are blown back to the icy abode of Oral.
That's where I remember them from. Kind of funny they didn't say anything about my mask, but I guess they're more focused on the Wolfgar guy than the real hero.
Oh man, why would that
What was,
be?
what was his shtick anyway?
You are the companion of Drist.
That was
Yeah, but like,
awful.
what was his thing? What did he do?
Barbarian. Barbarian.
I mean, if you're such a well-loved and highly acclaimed hero as the great Drist Do'Urden, I mean, you need some companions, some friends. I'm sure he had a whole rotating crew, but I mean, it's really all about him and the Panther.
If you would, I mean, would you like to make a history check to see what you know about Wolfgar?
Yes, I would, but it's all in the context of what I
Oh.
know about Drist's interactions with Wolfgar.
Right,
It's like
right.
it's like
fair
knowing about Wedge Antilles or you know, Faramir.
From what you remember, Hawks, you do know the stories of Drist actually teaching Wolfgar how to fight. That was one of the more popular stories. And then, supposedly with Drist's teachings, defeated the White Dragon, and I'm going to butcher the pronunciation. Ingeloak Astimulazilian. Oh gosh. Okay, I wanted to point out this name. Dragon names are something in their own. This name. You know what? Hang on.
Post it.
I'm gonna post it in
Post it.
chat. Ingeloak Astimulazilian. Hang on. Ingeloak Custom Mills. Custom is. Hang on. Look at this nonsense. So basically, when you,
But your
upon
pronunciation was actually pretty good. That Ingolocostimizillion.
yeah, it's not it's a mouthful. Of course,
It's-
go ahead.
It's good that it's got a lot of like more pronounceable, more commonly pronounced syllables. Like the AST and the Ilian at the end makes it like. I'm just wondering if it's supposed to be Ingle or Ingel.
Might be Ingel. But
Ingel.
he did in fact. I just read this. Incel the Dragon. Got it. But you do know he actually did have a shorter name known as Icing Death for those who could not pronounce his name.
Oh God, that's an awful name.
Yeah, therefore Incel the Dragon.
Icing Death's Frost is a spell.
Yeah, I'm the mighty dragon. Buttercream murder. Frosting war.
Also,
The dragon.
there's a blank screen. There we go. All right. So, but basically, what else do we know? Oh, hang on. Hang on. I think I unplugged my microphone by accident or something. What else do we know is that the death of Icing Death, which basically turned an alliance of the Regid tribes of the time away from an alliance with an evil wizard to an alliance with 10 towns instead. And this was actually quite a major event in the Dale of the time. And that's what you would know. That's what bit you would know about Wolfgar. But you all are returned back from whence you came. And interestingly enough, You notice that Okuma is not in your immediate vision.
Can we hear him?
Roll a perception check.
Walruses in the mist.
Perception. You hear in the corner around this way.
I see.
A blubbering and lubbering of a giant walrus in the corner.
He sounds a bit upset.
And she's here, right?
Yep. Maybe.
I'm going to cast a spell on myself.
How long were we gone, by the way?
You were gone for 14 hours.
Oof.
But we didn't get a long rest.
Almost nighttime.
I'm not counting as you not falling asleep, counting for the purpose of exhaustion for this instance.
Right, because that was probably calculated into the way that it works.
Mm-hmm.
So it was almost sunrise when we left. Now it could be almost sunset.
We wait in this
perhaps it is
corner, she
sunset.
might just go away.
Is there anything? Do we hear anything else, or is it just him?
Just him for right now. Let's see. Actually, with your 17, it's not a bad roll. What else would you hear? I guess the only other thing that you would not hear per se, but you would feel there is a shift in the wall slightly. Like there is a pressure from above that is causing a shift in the icework.
I see. I'm gonna poke my head out this door as sneakily as I can.
Alright, poke your head out. And you, of course, as you turn to the left, turn to the right, you will see, blubbering in the corner is Akuma.
Looks like it's just him. I think this is a Meepo problem.
Well, I'm a bit tired. I'll do my best. Akumo, is everything alright?
No,
What's wrong, buddy?
she came down here. She's scary.
Is she still down here?
No, but
Then it'll be alright.
no, it's not.
What's wrong?
She knows you're here.
Well, is she gonna go again tonight?
I don't know.
Okay, well, we'll figure it out. It's alright. What'd she say?
She didn't say anything per se. It was like a weird voice in my head. It was scary.
They're there. I'll just like rub his side.
He just starts blubbering and just puts his flippers above his eyes and just rolls on his side. It seems that you're not going to get perhaps a whole lot of information from his current state.
So,
Hey, Scales, you got that spell? The Calm Emotions? I don't have it prepared right now.
I will say there is something that you all do notice as you're walking
Oh wait,
along.
does that only work on humanoids? It's
It
humanoids.
does only work on humanoids, and you would know that, so I'm not gonna say that uses the spell slot. You just can get us to keep that spell slot. I will say, if you wish, you can either make an animal handling or persuasion check to try and calm him down. Wow.
It's disadvantage.
Yeah, that's pretty good actually. So, it's at this point in time I should emphasize what you actually have depending on levels of exhaustion.
I have disadvantage on ability checks and halved speed.
So, let me see here. The levels of exhaustion. First level is disadvantage on ability checks. Second level of exhaustion is speed halved. 3 levels is disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws. 4, your hit point maximum is halved.
That's where Muerte is.
That's where Muerte is. 5 is your speed is reduced to 0, and 6 is dead.
So, okay. Yep.
5, basically, you have to be carried.
Interesting.
Can we go up here and rest up here? Or at least a little bit until Matt comes. And chance getting out of here as quick as we can.
I would like to second that.
Wait, was there something? There was a vault down here, isn't there?
Yes, there is.
Yep.
The very reason you came here, and you've completed all 4 trials.
So,
We should check that out first.
no.
I have a feeling that if we take it, or if we try to use that as our rest space, that's one of the things that would prompt her to know that we're back.
That's true.
Yeah, I think personally I was just that we like hide in the tiny hut and I guess do well if we do a long rest she won't be quite back yet by the time we wake up, right?
Well, because of the 29 persuasion check, this is something I've been thinking about, like what he would actually tell you and what he could remember. In his kind of like his in his blubbering state, he manages to get out that the reason that she knows that you're here was because she found the corpse of the giant.
Interesting.
If she can't tell when we come back and forth from the challenges.
No, that's not how it works, I don't think. She always seems to know when Akuma's around. Well, I mean, Akuma's very big, but it's like she just knows.
Hmm. Do you know how long it is until she leaves again? Or would she normally leave again?
Well, normally it'd probably be in a few hours from now. I don't know. I don't know where the sun is. I just go based on gut feelings.
I really need a lunch. Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I think I'll, keep my suggestion as it is.
Right. So you're suggesting to go to the vault, or what are you suggesting?
My suggestion is that we tiny hut, long rest, and then after that we hit the vault and run.
Yep. I agree with this plan.
Sounds good to me. I think it might be better if we sent Muerte back before we did that, so that Muerte can get on
I think-
Juke and be ready, start sleeping.
I
I know you
think
really went in on the action, but it's you're looking pretty rough.
I think getting Muerte some rest would be better for us in general.
It's fine. I'm strong. I can walk on my own. She tries to scramble her way out the stairs, and then she slams and cracks her beak on the stair, and she goes down a couple steps.
Really, I don't think it's a good idea for any of us to go out there while there's a god up there.
And the bird.
And the other bird.
The big bird.
The inferior bird, but still.
Alright, so in that case, you guys are Liamin's tiny hutting then.
I mean, we've only... yeah. I mean, I think that's mine and Mike's vote. If they're... I don't know if we've fully decided, but...
Right, I'm just kind of like, I'm trying to gauge the
I'm okay
group's
with that.
decision.
I'm all for it.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So, in that case, you guys try and find the most secluded corner to try and hide yourself in, which I assume to be the upper room, correct?
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Very well. Then, you all hide around and huddle this tiny hut, kept slightly warm within, hoping to avoid detection from the Frost Maiden's eyes. You all begin to drift into an anxious sleep. And as you dream, your sleep becomes restless. Scanuck. As you hear in that place between awake and deep sleep, you just hear just the faintest whisper, almost barely registering as a voice, but mostly as a biting wind. I know where you are, and I'll be waiting for you when I'm done. Good luck, my child.
No happening, come on.
Alright? And in that brief moment, you awaken, and you guys get a benefits of a long rest.
Yes.
So you remove 1 level of exhaustion.
Hit dice restored. Roars are back. Giant's might
Spells.
is back. Runic shields
And
are
Wolverine
back.
Bond.
I have
Ready
first
to
level
go.
spells again, guys.
Ready to go smacking stuff.
I have 4th level spells again.
Alright. Let's see. Does Lesser Restoration work on exhaustion?
Nope. Greater Restoration.
Ew.
Yep.
Yep, exhaustion is one of those really annoying ones to get rid of.
It sure is. I have to wait until like I'm level 9, maybe 10, before I can do it. Or wait, maybe I can actually. Let me see. Greater Restoration 5e. Level 5th spell, I think. 5th one. Yeah, I can only do up to 4th level spells right now. Speaking of which, I'm also going to switch up some of my spells here for reasons. That one.
Yeah, so it's a good time just to review some of your spells, review your stuff.
Yeah.
So, whenever you guys are ready to move on, I'll be there.
If we're taking a quick break, I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick because all my long rest stuff has already been sold.
Okay. Excellent.
Just drinking some water here. And then we'll end probably a little bit soon after a certain something. We'll see. Don't want to go too late because I know, Caleb, you have to work tomorrow. Right?
A real feel high of 0.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be rough.
Not gonna lie, it doesn't feel real.
So mostly a roleplay session, but how's everyone enjoying it so far?
It's been
Glad
fun.
we got through the trial of cruelty.
Yeah, that I think I mentioned this before, but the trial of cruelty is the one where I was most interested to see how Meepo would kind of react to that. Let's see here. There we go. Do. Alrighty. While we're just kind of waiting around, I'm gonna do a little bit of plugging really quick for a certain couple individuals who've made some really just great content all around. And of course, but who of course could I be speaking of? Well, you see those wonderful, beautiful maps that I've been showing off could be none other than the wonderful Tessa Moorcroft on DM's Guild. Maps by them. And of course there's a link to the DM's Guild in the stream chat. And this breathtaking music, of course, by the very talented Travis Savoy in his album Winter's Wrath on Bandcamp, which I will also plug in the chat. Just really wonderful, evocative music all around. These are some talented people. Support them if you can, because they do good work. Do extremely good work.
I am back.
Is everyone here?
I'm here.
I'm here.
Michael?
Here physically.
Visibly. Gotcha. Very well. In that case, what do you all do?
Anyone else have like weird dreams? Ominous?
Not recently.
Maybe sort of about, you know, angry, cold god thing telling you that you know that she knows you're here and is gonna be waiting for you?
No, did you?
Maybe.
Hmm.
I wouldn't say that I didn't. Kobold spot.
Does
Like
this
if-
happen often?
No.
Insight.
Not often. Let's see.
There we go.
I dreamt of a forest of smiths' hammers inhabited by
I
dancing
suppose I have
anvils.
disadvantage on that check because I'm still exhausted one level.
It's a very strange dream. Morte chimes in.
So 15.
It was very pleasant. I just felt like dancing alone.
I dreamt of a battlefield where I slaughtered thousands. It was a good dream.
I'm looking now.
See, so that's at least two of us who had pleasant sleep.
Indeed.
I don't think I had any dreams.
So, you have completed all 4 of your trials. I will ask you, do you decide to head towards the vault? Or do you have other things in mind?
I think our plan was to, you know,
Grab the book
Scoop
and
and
then
scoop.
book it.
Vault
Okay.
to vault.
Cox kind of bounces back and forth on his foot and his artificial foot, like the anvils from his dream.
And speaking of anvils, the passage you head towards is actually an anvil-shaped room, with a door set into the far wall. Flanking the door are bas-reliefs of 2 male frost giants that have been defaced, their features long since chipped away. Newer carvings above the door, however, depict the glowering heads of an owl, a wolf, and a goat. As you start to head towards... Oh, go ahead.
It's kind of a shame. I like these ones better.
As you start to inspect that area, you, Hawks, will hear a disembodied voice that says, "This way is shut to all but those who pass the tests of cruelty, endurance, isolation, and preservation. But you have failed some, but won others. It is not yet enough."
Hello.
Let me double
Which
check.
ones did I fail? Can I get like a grade sheet on that?
Funnily enough, there is actually a scorecard, but I can't tell you.
I'm assuming that actually, like, getting separated in the isolation one is the one that qualifies as a fail.
Sounds like it's not a fail.
Let me double check this one for you, Skanak, 'cause you... Let me see here.
Or are we each individually getting scored? I thought it said everybody got scored as a group. That's what they made it sound like when we were talking to Akumo.
Shrug. He doesn't know everything. He simply knows what he can.
Whatever. He knows what walruses know.
Let me double check this.
And more.
Everything known by every walrus.
That's amazing, actually.
It's really not that much, honestly.
It's still amazing.
Okay. As you enter Skanuk, the doors begin to open.
Yeah, that worked.
Okay, well,
Spell. Yeah. Is it a first level spell? This is a first level spell. Good.
I still want to know which ones I failed.
But yes, you specifically. I believe one other passed all 4 trials. There are very specific conditions that I cannot say yet. I can't really tell you. But maybe when I finish the campaign, I'll tell you which what actually counts as a failure, because some of them are kind of wonky. I'll tell you.
I've got, and I think I could figure it out.
I'm at least gonna try it to see if I qualify, doubting that I do.
Right, because like I'm assuming that Meepo failed the test of cruelty, which means that it would have to be Scales who passed the everything otherwise.
Well, I'm gonna try the door, see if it lets me in.
Well, actually, because sorry,
Canuck.
can't speak. Because Skanuk opened the door, it does not close for you as you try to enter.
I see.
Oh.
That explains why he. Yeah. Okay. So we just had to open the door.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Okay, but I win the trial of getting through the door first.
Fair enough. Lay on, Macduff.
Trial of expedience.
I like it.
1 second. Double checking something.
I don't know if that's one of Arl's things though. She makes it kind of hard to get around, you know.
Yeah.
All those blizzards.
All right, as you enter this room, arranged about are 3 tablets of ice, each 10 feet tall, 7 feet wide, and 1 foot thick. They sit upright in stands that are also carved from the similar substance of ice. You notice that script has been chiseled into the surface of each tablet. Another door stands in the middle of the far wall.
What does this script say? Considering I can read it literally no matter what.
Exactly. Hang on a second. I need to double check. Right here. Okay. I might have found an error in the module. I'm gonna tell you guys again later, but for now, you see on the 3 tablets, reads out on the far left, endurance. Exist as long as you can by whatever means you can. Only by enduring can you outlast your enemies. And then in the middle, in solitude you can understand and harness your full potential. Depending on others makes you weak. And the third is preservation. Every flake of snow is unique, and that which is unique must be preserved. And on the door to the far wall reads cruelty. Compassion makes you vulnerable. Let cruelty be the knife that keeps your enemies at bay.
Interesting. Okay.
Yep. So, and you try to open that door, and it does in fact open. So let me reveal what you see. I said, let me reveal what you see.
Roll 20
What
doesn't listen
do
to
our
anyone.
bold eyes see?
Your roll 20 eyes will see.
Hey.
You will see this chamber in front of you has a domed ceiling engraved with a giant snowflake. 2 caryatids depicting a towering woman stand on either side of a door in the south wall. In the middle of the room is a 5-foot-tall, claw-shaped lectern with a white snow-covered book resting on it. The air around you is calm, almost too calm. And flakes of snow drift off around the book, almost like flecks of dust.
Well, this is what we're here for, right?
I think so.
Okay then. Wink.
All right, you take the book.
And now we run?
Now we run.
Now we run.
Now you run.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Bye, Akumo.
Except I will have you pause right there, Meepo. Give me just a moment. Just a moment. As you all turn around to hightail it out, you will notice that a figure partially blocks your path, standing in the center of the chamber. You will see a creature you have seen in your dreams many times, Canuck. A hunched-over figure with a face like that of an owl and horns like that of a ram, draped in garb and cloak of icy blue, made completely out of snowflakes, drifting past. The ice, as she walks, clicks and clucks with her talon-like feet as she strides towards you. And the wind begins to blow. The Frost Maiden has found you.
Didn't think she'd be that small. I mean, I'm smaller still, and you know what I mean, but like...
And that is where we're going to have to end the session for tonight.
Well,
So, we will have to pick up from there next week.
Well, I just realized that my part of my plan probably won't work based on her tenants. Particularly isolation. That one's causing some troubles with my plan.
Yeah, her tenants are very interesting.
They weaken her herself,
Eh,
technically, in some way.
some ways.
Because part of the reason that she had problems is because she was basically ambushed by a group.
One can certainly say that.
Her tenet of isolation, where doing stuff yourself makes you stronger. It's like, okay, maybe, but if you're ambushed by a group and they take you out, there's no way to...
Fair enough.
Didn't you know that what doesn't kill you makes you stronger?
I guess.
Yeah, bro. Didn't you know?
But if it costs like months and 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 months of torturing people to get back to being stronger, I don't know if it was what didn't kill her or the actual torturing that was what's making her stronger.
I mean,
Okay, she's got it written off under cruelty.
but did she die?
No.
You can't kill a god, or can you? We'll find out next week on Kobolds.
I don't think
all
will.
right.
All right, everyone. Thank you for watching. We all appreciate you, and I hope wherever you are, you're having a good day or a good evening. But until then, see you next time. Bye-bye.
Peace.
Bye.
Bruh.